Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'll show you how to run macOS in VirtualBox. And I said run, not install, because I'll be using a pre-installed disk image, VirtualBox disk image, which I'll put the link to which I will put in the description. You can download it and boot it up and just finish the setup and run your Mac in the VirtualBox. You can follow this guide on Linux or on Windows, and also this guide is applicable for AMD Ryzen processors or Intel processors, but I'm using AMD Ryzen processors, so there are some extra steps that need to be followed. But if you are using an Intel machine, you don't have to do anything else. You just have to download and you just have to set up your VirtualBox and boot. For Ryzen, you need to run some extra commands that I will post or put in the description. Anyways, I'll show you how to run those commands in the command prompt, so don't worry. Okay, before we start, make sure you have VirtualBox and VirtualBox extensions installed. I recommend at least 8 GB of RAM and around 60 GB of free space on your hard drive or SSD. SSD will be best because I have run this on a hard disk and I found it very slow and sluggish. So I prefer SSD. If you have an SSD, that will be the best thing. Okay. If you're running this guide, or if you're following this guide on Windows operating system, then you might want to turn off this feature. It's called HyperV and Hypervisor, because if you have them enabled, then virtual machine will not work. So you just have to turn this off, and also Hypervisor platform. You must turn these two features off in order to run virtual machine. Okay, I have them turned off already. Now let's create a virtual machine using VirtualBox. We can either import, but there's even easier way to do that. What I'll do is I'll just navigate to the disk image that I have downloaded. You see, this is the image that was downloaded, and I can just double click on it. I'll just close this window now, and as you can see, it gives us some default settings. What we want to do is, if you have 8 processors on your system, assign it at least 4 to make it a little faster. And if you have 8 GB, give it at least 4 GB. I have 12 GB of RAM. I am going to give it, like, let's say 8 GB. It doesn't really matter, but I think 4 GB is enough for Windows host operating system, so I think it's not too bad. I'll leave other settings as they are, and I will click on import. It's gonna take a while to import. If you have a hard disk and not an SSD, it might take a little longer. I have an SSD drive, so while it loads, we will do one more thing. We need to run command prompt as administrator. Remember, I'm installing, or I'm going to run Mac on a Ryzen system, so I need to perform some extra steps. But if you are installing this, or if you're running this on an Intel processor, you don't need to do this. You don't need to follow this step. Just remember this thing. You need to run command prompt as admin or administrator. Then you have to navigate to C program files. program files, Oracle, I think, yeah, and finally VirtualBox. This is where the VirtualBox is installed on your machine. If you haven't changed the default location, this is where it should be, so you can just follow this, or wherever you have your virtual machine, or rather VirtualBox installed, you have to navigate to that folder. And remember, we are running the command prompt as administrator. Let's check what's in this directory. Yes, the files are there. What we need is a command called vbox manager. I think it's here, vbox manager. It's somewhere around here, vbox manage. Yeah, we're looking for this command, vbox manage. And remember, this is only for Ryzen, not for Intel. Let's see if it is imported. Yes, it has been imported. You can fine-tune the setting if you like. I'll show you what to do, but before anything else, I must set up my Ryzen. So I have this file actually uh, in the description box below. You can get it from there. I'm just going to copy them one by one and just paste them here and press enter. This is what we're going to do. Did I miss something? Aha. Let's minimize this a little. If you know batch programming, then you know how to run multiple commands at once. I'm not very good at Windows, so I'll just do it manually. I'm more comfortable using Linux term. I think I missed something. This is the whole command. Make sure that you copying and pasting the whole command. Not like me, I made a mess of it a couple of times, I think. You just have to copy the whole command, one complete line, and then paste it. I think I've done the commands. Now I'll turn this off, and then we'll minimize this. I will close this for once, and I will restart it. Now what we need to do is fine-tune our settings. This is, you can change your RAM assignment. You remember I set up around 8000 MB of RAM for my VirtualBox. You can increase or decrease it. Again, I have assigned 4 processors. These are not really important at the moment. Leave it as it is. Okay, enable 3D acceleration, and video memory is 128 megabytes, but it will not work on my machine because I don't think Vega 8 will be supported in any ways, so we don't worry about that. And audio too will not work by default. You may have to install some kexts, so we will leave it as it is for now, and we will start booting. Let's see how it goes. Now what I want to do is I want to go to full screen. So you have to press right Control and F on Windows to go to full screen mode. As you can see, it's booting. Sorry about the noises. It can get a bit noisy. And I forgot to say one thing, because this disk image was not created by me. The default setup language is Russian because it was made by some Russian guy. But it's not a big problem. I'll show you how you can change the language to English. So just bear with me. You can create your own disk image. It's not really hard. It's very easy. But to create a bootable Mac installer for virtual drive or virtual disk, I made a mistake there. Virtual machine. If you want to make a bootable Mac OS for virtual machine, then you need a real Mac. And right now I don't have one, so I just downloaded this image from internet. It's a little sluggish, but it's okay. Now you see this screen. This is the welcome screen, and you have this choice of selecting region. So I'm going to select India. You can select India from the list, and you can later select America or whatever you want to select. So I will be selecting India. Just see this screen and you can make it out. Just select what I am selecting. This is India. You just have to select this one. Just follow the characters if you're not familiar with Russian, and then click on Продолжить, which means next, and then you have let's add English normal English excuse me. Let's add normal English and English from India. English UK. Now one problem here is that you cannot make English the default because Russian is already selected. It says Russian India, but there is no such language as Indian Russian. Anyways, we'll continue with this for now. We have selected English for India and English for UK. Just look at the characters and follow the steps. And the keyboard I will select is ABC, not Russian. I will remove the Russian keyboard. And the voice language is also set to Russian, which you can remove later. I will select English Velika Britannia, which is for Britain or UK. Let's add it and let's go. Right now we are not connecting to internet, so I will select the second option and we'll continue. We'll continue. Just follow the guide on the screen. You can just do what I'm doing. That's all I can say. And name it here. You need your username and here you need your password. Once again your password here, and you can type in a hint here and then you continue. Obviously I didn't want to make this video longer, but these videos, if you want to follow the whole steps, kind of get long, even though it wasn't intended to. But you can skip, and you can, these are normal things we all do. So you can skip forward if you like. Just follow the guide on screen as I said before. You don't have to do anything else. What I needed to do was I needed to select this option instead of clicking next. We don't need to set these options right now. Now if you want to get out of the full screen mode, you can press right Control and F. Now we have the choice to select the theme. We'll leave it as it is, and finally we will be in our Mac in few moments. So I was saying that you can opt out of full screen mode by pressing right Control and F on Windows, and you can press it again if you want to switch back to full screen mode. Once we boot into our desktop, what I will do is I will remove Russian language and I will set it up for English. You can also do that. As for performance, so we have finally booted up into our Mac, and let's set up our keyboard. You don't need to change anything because we already set up English keyboard, so it's not in Russian. Close this window. Now we need to go to settings and we need to change the language. This is the option we need to select. It seems a little slow. I don't know, maybe because I'm recording. Indeed, the slowness was caused by OBS Studio. I just turned it off and verified. Nevertheless, what we were doing is we were trying to remove Russian and set up English as our system language, and I'll show you how to do that. I just rebooted. I don't think you will have that problem. You just have to boot. I was recording, so I was having that issue. So as you can see, I'm in language setup window. What we need to do is we need to just remove this from here, and now we have English India and English UK selected. And for softwares, we can also select, for particular software we can select language, which we are not going to do. We have selected system language as English. Now you can set up any, just drag and drop. If you want English UK, add system language. We have already set up our keyboard to be English, so we will leave it here, and we will restart. Just select the option on which I selected and it will reboot. That's all you need to do. And hopefully it's recording. Let me verify. Yeah, it's recording. Just turn this window off. Also this. And once the system boots now, you will see that the system language had changed to English. So this is all you need to do. It's a bit of work, I know, but right now I don't have a disk image with English language, so bear with me. If you want to try this, you can try. If you don't, you can wait for me to create an English disk image, which I will in a few days time. But for the time being, I think this is not too bad. You just have to follow the instructions like I did. You just have to watch and follow. It's not too difficult. You don't have to understand the language. Just follow and click whatever I clicked, select the things I did select, and you will be up and running. You can see it's not too bad. After first install it seemed really slow, but that was because maybe the Windows Defender, I should have turned it off, was doing some scan, or maybe because it was uh, the OBS Studio recording, something caused that slowness. And it's still slow when I'm recording it. It kind of loses some speed. So let's go back to full screen mode again. Remember Control F, right Control F, and let's turn this window again. And you can see it's slow again because I am recording. But it's quite usable. If you're not recording, it will be very usable. And make sure you assign it enough CPU processors and enough RAM in order to make it a little speedy. We can close this window now. And to make your internet work, what you need to do is you need to click on network, connect network adapter. If you don't do that, your internet won't be connected. Let's verify if it was connected. It shows connected, so let's see if it really worked. You can see I'm connected to internet. Audio of course will not work. You may have to install some text and do some research yourself. I didn't bother because this isn't a daily driver. You this is just for testing. This is not a perfect machine for working, so you shouldn't really bother with that. Why is it picking up Windows command? Let me see. Anyways, you can see I have installed it on my laptop in virtual machine. You can install it and test it. It's uh, it's not too hard to get it set up. Only the language part is a bit difficult, but if you're following me, then you should be able to get through it. It's not too difficult. I might post some images if you have some problem with the language, but right now this is all from me. Goodbye.